This week's show is most certainly a Q&A from questions I pooled from clients I'm currently training and people I've met at the several different events I've done throughout January. And January's done and dusted. Now we're going on to February. There's a whole host of events coming up. Some listed before the show. And again, we'll be recapping with a couple of other different ones coming very, very soon. There's retreats, the Glory Roads. Can't recommend them enough. So we'll go straight up to the top as I take a mouthful of ginger tea, which is literally just ginger chopped in a cup. It's no fancy dear tea bags being used here. Keep it simple. So straight away, questions we're going to go, can you lose weight without exercising? That comes in from Blake, Facebook on Waterford. Number 2, we have struggling to hit protein without supplements. Tips that was and did come from an individual who I was having a chat with at one of the events I did in January. Last question we're going to do with dealing with stress in work and want to focus in on health. Help. Yeah, that comes in from Anonymous, most certainly from a client that I'm currently and is dealing with that situation. So the 3 main topics. Let's go rocking and rolling straight away on into it. So, can you lose weight without exercise? This is something that is actually true. You can actually lose weight without exercise, but there are so many different benefits, most certainly to exercise. So if you're able, I would most certainly recommend the minimum requirement, the classic 10,000 steps. That is you out in sunlight. We are heading into spring. Okay, spring has sprung and I need more people outside. Sun is the one thing that gives you energy. It naturally wakes up the body. It produces vitamin D. It's good for your immune system. So firstly, if you are incapable of training, you can, and God willing, that most certainly everyone is able to listen to this podcast, is well able to do steps and be grateful for that. For people that would kill to be outside and have that ability to do that type of exercise. Next thing is, if you can do any form of, I suppose, light exercise, if you have advantage of swimming, okay, that is something that's going to certainly help speed up the likes of your weight loss. Because when it comes to weight loss, it comes down to a numbers game. So the figure of calories in, calories out that is often mentioned online isn't really the whole really the whole picture, because okay, a calorie is not a calorie. So 100 grams of calories from, let's say, organic mince maybe compared to 100 grams of, we'll say, a chocolate bar, which is madness, because they're both completely different and they work and have different macronutrients which affect the body completely differently. So let's take the likes of the chocolate bar, 100 calories of that. We'll give it 200 calories because most chocolate bars will be up in the region of that. Okay, so a chocolate bar has 200 calories. We'll have a majority of it, its ingredients will be sugar. We'll have some healthy fats, cacao, a little bit, and all other ingredients and stabilizers that totally are foreign to the body, and I maybe even struggle as a dyslexic to read them off the back of the wrapper. That is something that signifies to the body, okay, for a quick release of energy, following that, a massive crash because it's an increase in your blood sugar levels. That's the chocolate bar, 200 calories. So if you were to have the same amount of, roughly, we'll take a fist size of mince. Let's put very little on it. We'll put pink Himalayan salt, but I want to already thinking in my head put garlic and onions in there, but we can't. Just for the example of 200 calories of a fist size of mince is complete protein and it contains healthy fats, because most certainly we'll take the example of an organic, it's high in omega-3, that's going to reduce inflammation. Okay, it's going to increase the absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. It is most certainly then going to have protein, which is going to be beneficial towards your skin, repairing your body if you have a current injury, to get you back training, and in on top of that, it's going to keep you fuller for longer. Okay, it is completely different to what people have been preaching online. Calories in, calories out. That is not what I want people to do. You could lose weight eating that Mars bar diet, but is it healthy? Nope. I'm going to get you to most certainly realize that every single ingredient food that you're looking to eat has a massive effect and can improve your, I suppose, ability to have more energy, sleep better, have better skin, all of the areas, and most certainly to lose weight in a healthy way. And that's what I want more people to do. But you can most certainly lose weight without the likes of any typical exercise that you are recommended either by myself or by anybody else. Other things you can do that I do recommend to clients and have on the Organic Fitness program would be the likes of grounding. Grounding is a form of, I suppose, naturally speeding up any injury if that's currently preventing that individual from exercising. So that is literally putting your hands, your feet on the likes of the soil. Okay, it is something that neutralizes free radicals. So it's going to increase your energy level straight away off the bat. So if you're doing this in the morning, you're going to gain the advantage of naturally waking up the body. I'm going to take another drink. Olympics Cup, love it. 2008, what a great year. So grounding most certainly is something that is free. I always recommend the simple things to people, because often people mention that going organic is most certainly cost them a fortune. I recommend the free stuff first. Grounding, get outside. You can do that at a beach. Okay, there's loads of people going for walks at the weekends now. There's brighter evenings, which is exactly what I want you to do, because in between the likes of people's immune system being compromised, you also improve, and there is beneficial microorganisms found on your skin, but from your feet all the way to your hands, touching the sand with your hands, taking off your shoes, taking off the likes of your socks, and if you want, a little bit of a paddle, and if you're brave enough, get your whole, I was going to say ass in there, get your whole body in there, and you gain massive advantages from that. Okay, there's magnesium in there that speeds up recovery. These are all things that I do. Okay, and straight up, I've been actually chatting about this. I find it very difficult to get into the sea, and I have to do it typically in the morning. And I know I put up on social media sometimes that I'm going in there on a regular basis, and you mightn't see how difficult it is. But I get in there, and you feel $1 million. You feel actually completely different after you carry out, and that's a form of grounding, and most certainly a sea dip. Vitamin D, vitamin C, classics. All right, so that is definitely something that I do recommend people to do. Do as much as you can, exercise-wise, with any form, such as grounding. Swimming would be another one. And on top of that, you could also factor in a swim and a sauna if you want to do a gym, and incorporate in maybe some light exercises where you're just doing some compound movements around, I suppose, that injury that you currently are holding, that prevented you from, I suppose, any of that high intensity stuff. So low impact would be also another thing. On the cross trainer would give you the addition, or a bike if you want to do some cycling, would all be low impact things to fit and factor into your day and your work schedule. That's, I suppose, very important. So that leads me on to the second question. Okay, struggling to hit protein without supplements, tips. Okay, straight away off the bat. Oh yeah, and I'll further expand on that point. That individual was typically leaning towards a more plant-based vegetarian kind of diet. So that, just going to open up the floor here, must be said that there are complete protein sources before you take a supplement. And my definition of a supplement is to supplement what you cannot get from your diet. So that's you leaning towards, before you have a restriction in some certain foods, it's your chicken, fish, turkey, eggs, and then tofu, tempeh, and hemp seeds. Okay, those are the classic high protein, complete protein items that I list out in the book, The Power of Organic Fitness, that's over there, and most certainly available, link in the bio. I'm allowed to say that. Why? Because it's my own goddamn podcast. Someone gave me shit, say, call me, can't be advertising the book full time. I'll take it out and swing it around my head at every event that I have, because I love that book. God, effort that went into that book, and by God, I'm so grateful. That book would, specifically this one, is the one that has original #1 bestseller, 28th of June, held this as I jumped into a freezing cold lake. I thought lakes were going to be warm. No, not in Kildare. It is cold. And yeah, so that's that. So with somebody trying to hit their protein goals without a supplement, the first thing you need to do is realize that, okay, it's going to be, I suppose, especially if you're very active in training on a regular basis, like this individual was. So they must consume eggs throughout their day. Okay, eggs contain a large organic egg with 6, if not 7 grams of protein. Other food items you can most certainly have would be your tofu and tempeh. Those are your complete protein sources. Okay, then the next thing is yogurts for yourselves is a classic. You can get an organic Glenesk yogurt. Glenesk, where are you? Call out the sponsors, bring in the boxes, and I will consume them, because they have. And I had been previously onto them for over a year. straight up. I said there is literally a market for an organic yogurt that is low, most certainly fat and low carb, but just high protein. Can you do for me? They had a non-organic one, it was typically green in color, and now they brought it out. It's lovely. Big tub, full tub, about 50 grams of protein, and it's organic milk. That's one of the things if you tolerate dairy in itself. But if you don't, it's down to a leaky gut. We can expand on that point just slightly later. So that is a key thing for yourself to hit your protein targets, and you have to consume that with other food items. Let's take the example of one of your main meals of the day might be a curry. Okay, we'll go with tempeh curry because tempeh, 100 grams of that is roughly about 18 grams of protein. So you most certainly then have your tempeh. I would go with even adding in some lentils because lentils are also a high plant-based protein, but they don't contain all 9 essential amino acids. I would add in some pumpkin seeds, which then when you combine pumpkin seeds with lentils, they make a complete protein. And that is something that I use with my 2 fingers to join together. I'm such a visual individual. I don't think I've ever said those 2 words back to back. I'm a visual individual. Visual learner, probably would be the correct way of saying it. So that is one way of bumping up your protein because 100 grams of lentils is most certainly a way of getting 24 grams of protein. They're extremely high, but they don't contain all 9 essential amino acids. That's why you bump in the likes of your pumpkin seeds, which are lacking those other amino acids. They come together to join and form your all 9 essential amino acids that you have to get from your diet because we're trying to stay away from supplements in this particular scenario. Then I don't have, we'll say, these maybe brown bread with that. I don't have, or sourdough bread, or any bread for that matter. I don't have rice. I don't have potatoes. Why? Because those are typically higher carbohydrates, and the lentils are ordinary carbohydrates. So when you understand foods, you must remember that every one of them is either protein, fat, or carbohydrate, or they would be a combination of others. So we are getting it with the lentils, we're getting carbohydrates, we're getting protein, getting very little fats. So then when you come across to the other side, people on YouTube, we most certainly have our healthy fats, and there will be protein. So then we kind of come together and all the different amino acids open up and they come together. That's why they're a perfect fit. And pumpkin seeds also contain zinc, which is good for your immune system. I love keeping people healthy. And that is, in a nutshell, a classic dinner. All with pink Himalayan salt, curry powder. If you wanted to add in water, typically if you want to keep it a little bit lower calorie, or if you want a high, if you want I suppose a lean bulking phase, building some lean muscle tissue, you can add in the classic, maybe some coconut milk. That just makes it so much creamier. My mouth waters as we talk about this food and dinner. So straight away, that is a lovely dinner for yourself. So we'll even most certainly go back because I've skipped lunch because we went for eggs for breakfast, and we are going to go with tofu stir fry. Okay, tofu is another high protein, and you most certainly are going to add in a lot of vegetables to keep it relatively nutrient dense with low calorie. So we'll add in peppers, we'll add in cucumbers, we'll add in any other classic one that you enjoy, carrots, you want a beetroot, just slice them up. The smaller you cut them, most certainly you put them in a pan. 10 minutes later, you are cooking these meals in minutes. And that is something that I do on the program. Get people to make quick, healthy, nutritious meals specifically for individuals who ask for them. And that is a one way that the 100 grams of most certainly tofu is 13 grams of protein. So I would double up. So 200 grams will be 23, right? Double 13, more than that. 26 grams of protein, and after that I bump in with use some hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are something that are complete protein, but they do contain healthy fats. But they're a perfect combination, which will get you over the likes of 30 grams of protein in that main meal. Again, if you want to use a little bit of yogurt and sprinkle a curry powder in with that, mixing it in, or spice or just have it on the side, is something that is a great way of helping you having a high protein egg breakfast, a stir fried tofu lunch, and we'll call it a lentil curry for absolute dinner. Those are your 3 main meals straight away off the bat for yourself to hit your protein target with, I suppose, real foods, which I would recommend to so many different people. So next question, dealing with stress in a week and want to focus on health. Okay, this is an important one, and I suppose it came into my own life very recently. I had quite a busy January. And in fact, I was under the weather for a period of 2 days because I just couldn't keep going at that pace. And that's a realization that I'm not I'm human. I'm not superhuman. And as much as I'd like to do as much as I can in a possible day, and anyone wants to be the best, wants to help the kids, wants to do all the jobs, sometimes you have to realize that you have to slow down. Okay? Have to slow down because there's so many things you can do. And if you keep going the way you're going, you keep getting what you're getting. That's quotes that most certainly I would live my life by. You have to change up the routine and you have to take control of your health. And that only and does happen when you own the morning. Too many of us stay up too late. Okay. You're watching shit on the television. Okay. And I was in a paper there. There was an article written about me. And article, the words that I said were throughout the television, throughout the radio, start consuming more things that benefit you. And consuming, whether it's listening not only in your mouth, in your ears, and in your eyes, it's the point that you need to get up a little bit earlier. But getting up early is the easy thing. It's going to bed on time. Because when you go to bed on time, you can get up that extra half an hour to get in that 20-minute workout, to get in those steps before work. Because people often say they don't have time or they're not making any more time. If you ask somebody, if I had more time, I'd literally be able to do so much more. They're not making any more. You have to make a priority. That's just wholeheartedly exactly what we need to do. That's an alarm clock for somebody who typically doesn't get up at that time. Don't know what that's about. But yeah, get back on track here with you have to focus in on your health. Oh my God, that's the alarm clock for you guys to wake up and realize that happened. That was meant to happen. I don't know, 7:41. I never get up at that time. You have to realize that when you wake up a little bit earlier, you have that time to focus in on meal prep. You have that time to get your workouts done. And it's when everyone else is asleep, you take advantage of that. Early bird catches the worm. There's so many different analogies, but just own the morning, own the day. Do whatever helps you get exactly what you need out of the day. If it's definitely a workout, nail it down. If it's short steps at the end of yesterday, you clock them up. You need a workout in, get that goddamn YouTube clip out and draw that piece of paper and there's 2 sets of dumbbells and the floor space and a bottle of water and knock it out of the park. No one else can do it for you. You can say, oh God, I'm sick. Oh God, I'm tired. I'd love to lose weight. I want to feel good. I want to be arm candy. I want to look good naked. Whatever the goddamn goal is, you have to do it. Because I can shout, I can literally scream, I can send people messages that are on the program, but Jesus, help yourself. Because if you don't help yourself, okay, nobody else can do it. You have to do your best, okay? I'm not asking people to be Superman. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. And that's exactly it. You will only do the things that you want. You only do the steps that you want to do. You only get up when you want to. And that's it. You have to want it. You really do have to want to change. If you're doing too much work, you need to tell the boss, I'm either pulling back, I'm doing less work hours on a Friday, I'm doing less work on a goddamn Monday, whatever days you're working. The thing is, you have to make it fit your day. And you cannot outtrain the bad diet. If you're snacking on leftovers, on biscuits, on whatever it is, and you're not losing weight, and you're wondering why, wonder no further. It's what you're doing isn't working. You've got to do something different. Right? You're taking control of your health. And you're not leaving anybody else down. You're not leaving me down. You're not leaving your friends. It's not your family members. It's leaving yourself down. And everybody who listens to this podcast, I'm certain of it, wants to improve their health, wants to feel their best. And how do you do that? With a lifestyle that incorporates in exercise, real foods, whole foods. It's a no-brainer. But the thing is, people are not doing the simple stuff. We're not clocking up the steps. We're not being accountable to somebody. And that's whether it's a coach, whether it's me, or whether it's a friend or a family member. You just have to realize that every time you do a workout, you vote for the healthy, yay, put your hands up, person inside in you, right? when I finish a workout, one-to-one with specifically one of the clients that I'm training right now, literally the 2 hands go up, 4 hands, 2 for me and 2 for them, and the realization that, yes, we just finished the workout, right? Lifting up the dumbbell, all your hands, because you're absolutely knackered. You couldn't lift anything else after the training session. And that's how you win, okay? I'll be a firm believer in putting your chest out and your shoulders back. Be proud of what you've done when you finished it. It's a sense of achievement. When you knock out the 10,000 steps, boom, we're winning. Having a healthy meal, tick. Didn't get the takeaway, done. Didn't eat the chocolate bars, boom. Made an alternative one. And it's not about eating less food. In fact, it's more about eating more food, doing more things. Workout, steps, foods, cooking your own. People say, oh, it's difficult to be healthy. Yeah, but it's also difficult to have low energy levels, depressed, and to have your ass lying down on the couch and you can't even move at the end of the day. You get to choose your suffering. You have to decide what life you want to live. Do you want to look good? Do you want to feel good? Do you want to have more energy? The answer is, you answer it. Because you're in control. Take control of your health. It's such an important thing. I can't stress it enough. Cannot. Foods affect your mood. You know it. Get on it. And that's a clear example of you knowing, but you just need to put it into practice. Because knowledge is one thing. There's loads of knowledge. And if you're unsure about any topic, send me a message. Ideally, I'm here to help 100%. I love talking about this. And I do it for a living. I do events, I do retreats, I do grow your own. I'm literally the whole package. If they could package me up, and I was at an event and someone said, come on, if you literally could bottle your whatever it is in a jar, just sell it to me. I want it. I'm going to do that. Roger, yeah, we're making that product. What are we going to call it? Power bottle. Imagine. I'd sell it for, how much would you buy? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to most certainly leave it there. Short podcast, keeping it to the point, keeping it to most certainly the specific questions that were asked by people, and we're looking to get a further expansion on them. All right. If you ever want most certainly a question answered, send me a private message. And in on top of that, what I must say is the likes of the events that are coming up very soon. So there is the latest of the Grow Your Own courses. That's the 18th of February. If you're not in for that, most certainly there will be another one very soon. We have directly after that, there is the retreat, the 3rd of March. Unbelievable. You cannot most certainly get a better event. We have 3 days, 2 nights of gallivanting, activities, like-minded people, and that might be thrown around a little bit much at the moment. It's people that are literally on the same wavelength as you. Everyone's there to enjoy themselves and have a good time while eating healthy foods. That's what you're looking for. That's the kind of people that I like. I most certainly recommend that you guys, if you haven't been there, the videos only tell half the stories. That's the God honest truth. So that's one of the another events that are coming up very soon. And in on top of that, training people online and most certainly taking them on for the likes of March. We are currently full up for February, full of February, because people most certainly were coming from the January package, continued on in February. So that means we're rolling on to the next phase of people, if they're looking, the opportunity for people to get into a healthier routine. Okay, that's workouts, home workouts. That is most certainly real foods and mentoring and coaching from myself on the Organic Fitness Program. If you want to get involved in that and that interests you, most certainly send me a message or book in a one-to-one call. I just pointed up, as in my link is in my bio. So yeah, check that out if that is anything and you would like to do. And I've actually taken on a couple of people on just specifically nutrition calls, because they are most certainly looking after their own fitness. So either or nutrition, training, or the combination of both. You let me know. All right, lads, stay tuned, stay classy, and keep it organic.